we are just going to continue with the nonsense. So, for those of you who just popped in, or the party had enacted a plan to try to save one of their fellow prisoners from the slave auction. Things aren't going super well, but things are about to take a even worse turn. So as Vic is disguised, waiting on a bench for what will inevitably be a zone of truth, and as Drazzle's wandering around trying to pick up on what people were doing, and Jay says, well, you start to hear to the west, so there's sort of, roughly a ring of buildings around you, and there's an open sort of road passageway between some buildings over to your west side, and you start to hear screams and the sound of stone cracking, and what ends up happening is you see a number of Dwergar running in panic towards the slave auction, and through sort of the maze of buildings, trying to get away from something, which it's not clear what it is, but then very quickly you discover, because you can see it over the tops of the buildings. There is, in the distance, headed in your direction, a two-headed, gray-skinned giant just slamming through the plaza that's directly to the west of you. And as it turns out, he is sort of turning the corner and headed towards you. I'm going to move you onto a battle map here.
Does this gray-skinned giant look familiar?
It does not.
Okay, good.
How many gray-skinned giants do you know, Jason?
Yeah.
Just the one that we saw previously.
The one you saw previously.
Demogorgon, the two-headed giant.
Oh, no. This is actually a stone giant. But
okay.
Who has two heads, strangely enough. So where are you guys? Here you guys are.
Is this a motif? Is a motif in our campaign? Two heads?
It may be. I'll let you read into that all you want. Okay, so what I need you to do, so as this is happening, you see a bunch of Dwergar guards sort of pop into existence. And in particular, Drazzle, you see one like immediately next to you pop into existence, who was keeping an eye on you, clearly. And so you, I'm going to need you all, you're on the battle map, right?
Mm-hmm.
To roll initiative. There are other people.
Do you need to pop the tracker up first?
Do I?
I don't see it.
Do you see it now?
I do, yeah.
What's going on here? Why can't I tell?
Wait, are initiative rolls counting as ability checks?
They do, don't they?
Okay.
They are by rules.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then I'm at disadvantage.
Does something need to change? And yours still fixed? Oh no, that's right. Am I missing someone or no? That's it. Send. Let me just add one for the guards. He is not. He's not armed, and he seems like your best at first glance, almost like he's drunk or something. But stone giants don't have two heads, so you're really not sure what's going on. And so he is going to head towards you.
You're just assuming that all that facts he gave us is something we would know. That we've seen stone giants, we know they don't have two heads. You're just giving us
Yeah,
that.
like giants don't have two heads. So you know of Ettins, right, who do have two heads. and they're related giants. But stone giant, you've seen stone giants in this town. None of them had 2 heads.
That's what I was curious about. I was like, I know that, but I was like, is that something Drowsy knows, or has he picked it up here in town?
Yeah, stone giants are a clan here in the city, so it's not like a secret. But this is weird. Everyone else around you too, the Dwergar, seem to think it's very weird, and they all flee. Let's see. He is going to move, and he is just sort of swinging his arms like wildly as he moves. And you see him. Can I move him? Can you see him get to here? And he's just sort of smashing those buildings around him. Let me just check one thing. And you see him sort of use dash action to stumble in. He's headed straight, basically, in the middle of the auction. And so everyone's fleeing. Darendil is over in the corner. 2 of his handlers are still there, but 2 have fled. So, Jasa, you are up next.
Right. So is the battle map? I assume it's not foliage, but they're structures and things.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
So, this is, for those of you who don't know, this is the Roll20 map of the month for the Pro subscribers, and it's really nice. I highly recommend it if you have it.
Map of the month, but they're not specifically for this. It's just map of the month. And...
Yeah, no. I was making a map, and then they announced January's map, and it fit minus the bushes. So it's actually. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to move around and take the cunning action to dash.
Okay.
And get up into here and use my action to hide.
Okay. You see, it has something special. Okay, so it is. Advantage adds 5 to passive perception, right? Or to passive skills.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so I never remember these skills. A tie on stealth. Stealth wins, right? Because it's the defensive.
I don't know.
I think the rule is nothing changes. If it's a tie.
Nothing changed. Okay. Okay, so nothing changes. So you're not hidden, and it's not paying attention to you.
Okay. That's my action.
Okay. Drazzle, it is your turn.
So, I'm just double checking. I feel like when I first clicked onto this screen before I zoomed in, it was in a different place. It was over by this fountain here in the center.
Its turn was first.
Right, but I mean it's coming from that direction.
Correct.
Do I see where it's headed, like what it's focused on doing? Or just running down the street?
It is stumbling wildly, so it's not really clear. It is not. Yeah. It's staggering around.
Okay. I'm gonna take the action I think any sane person does when confronted by a massive drunk, and I'm gonna try and get out of the way.
Okay.
I'm just gonna try to circle around behind this obstacle, kind of come around this side of it, like in its rear side, hoping that maybe I can make a jump over to where Darendil is.
Okay. You have more movement if you want. If you want the dash action.
Yeah, if I can get all over to here.
Yeah, just use these as difficult terrain.
15, 20, 25, 30, 5, 10, 15, 25. So I get to that half of the square.
Did you move next to him in doing that?
No, I moved here, then here.
So because this right here would have been 30 movement total, just moving across that bush.
Coming around from the behind of it. So I was trying to come down this way.
Okay, but just realize that that's still going to be a fair bit.
Okay.
So just
So I can get about there.
Okay. Anything else, girls?
No, I'm just having a hard time seeing the grid lines, so it's hard for me to.
Let me see if I can.
No, they're fine. I was guesstimating because I couldn't read the grids too well. So I pulled out the map marker and it was easy. No worries.
Is that better?
Oh yeah, much better.
Vic, it is your turn.
Was
I think you
Dolphix
skipped me.
before me?
Oh,
Yeah.
did I? Oh, I'm sorry, Delphix.
No problem. I'm not gonna do much. I'm just gonna back up, give him a wide berth, and then I'll I'll ready a booming blade if this giant attempts to attack me.
Okay. Sorry, now Vic, it's your turn.
So Darendel is with handlers or
two of
Okay.
the four. There are 4 chains on him, and 2 are just swinging, sort of, or on the ground at this point.
I'm gonna move over by them. And I'm sort of purposely like trying to get its attention and yelling at it and wave my arms all about. And I'm gonna go and stand over here,
Okay.
near them.
You're still within reach, so no attack of opportunity. Anything else?
And with my action, I'll along with this movement, I'll give it a vicious mockery.
Okay. Let me see. It has some... Okay. All right. So it takes 4 points damage, and then it has disadvantage
Yeah,
on first attack or just all attacks.
first attack.
All right. It's wait, no, it's not its turn. It's the guard's turn. So the guards around you, the ones that you can see, aren't actually very organized. Like this is a bunch of them are trying to get the citizens out of the way. A bunch of them are just looking sort of perplexed as this creature that shouldn't be here is here. And then a few manage to throw off some arrows and crossbow bolts, and so you see a little bit of damage as those fly into. But it is his turn, and because Vic was trying to get his attention, Vic is going to get his attention. So sorry, I just need this. There's a okay, has a +9. So I need to
Wrong kind of attention.
Oh, sorry, I didn't do this. How do I do this? Can I do this? Okay, this is the second roll for that one. Sorry. Actually, wait, let me just... Okay, I'm just going to use this break spot. Only the first roll will count for this one. So, if, does a 15 hit?
Yes, it does.
So it doesn't have a weapon, but its fists are pretty bad. This 4 smacks into you for 9 points of damage, and then you see it come at you with the other fist. It hits. 8 points of damage.
I'm still up.
Ow! Jason.
All right. I'm going to 25 to here. Dash to get over to this side, and then try again to hide.
Okay. Go for it.
Oh man.
Yeah, he just has. Yeah, so his +4 his passive perception is 14, and then he has advantage because of the 2 heads.
Yeah.
So it's 19. So
All right. Well, that was my full round.
okay, Drazzle. So you saw him hit Vic, Drazzle, and Vic's right next to there.
I'm partially thinking that's Vic's fault for getting too close to a drunk. I'm not certain. I don't know if it's a perception check to determine he's a dangerous threat to Vic, or he swings at things that run past him because he's drunk and confused.
So part of what's happening right now, and it doesn't probably take that much acting, but I'm definitely like overemphasizing how beat up and injured I am, and what I'm trying to do is I'm hoping the handlers are gonna flee off and get out of here because this thing is potentially threatening their lives and give us an opportunity to grab Darendelle. But I'm probably being very dramatic about the injuries that I just sustained.
Because I don't want to attack him and distract him away from where the guards holding Darendelle are, which I'd rather him go after them next. So I'm going to continue to move over 5, 15, 25, and get over to here. We're going to keep trying to get to where I can be behind this action. I want to get over behind here.
Okay.
And another 5, 10, 15, 20.
Okay. I'm just going to drag in 2 Duergar here, his 2 handlers, just to make that more obvious. So he has 2 people. Don't worry. So adjacent to him. They're terrified of what's going on, and Darendelle is actually causing a lot of dead weight, like he's inertia. So they're trying to pull him away, but he's just sort of like transfixed.
He's thinking this is all part of our great plan.
Possibly. Dolphins.
Well, I guess if everyone's in there, better join the party, right? Let's see, how do I want to do this? I think 15 feet. Yeah, we'll try it. I'll just come up here and hit it with my booming blade.
Okay.
How does that work again?
The booming blade when he tries to leave, right?
It does damage on hit and if he moves.
Okay.
Right. So I actually have to roll. I forgot how it works on roll 20, but I think I actually have to do the attack action.
Yeah, booming blade lasts for a minute, so you'll have so the first time you hit within that time it'll trigger.
Right.
Okay. 14.
So hold on, let me just make sure. He's yeah, unfortunately, like his hide is just like stone as you hit it, and you feel like it does nothing.
Fair enough. I guess that's my turn.
Vic.
I will be. Do I get the sense that the Duergar are still trying to bring Darendelle with them?
Yes, they are not interested in like sticking around, and you don't know how limited, how long their patience will hold out.
Okay, I'm gonna grab hold of this one and just kind of fall on him and be like, "Doug, you gotta take me with you. I'm not gonna make it." And I'm basically just like grappling onto him and dead weight right along with them. Although I will use a bonus action to give myself a healing word.
So make me the grapple strength check. He will contest you. So you have him grappled. So the two of you are grappled together.
And
then you said healing word.
yeah, I'll take 7 back.
Okay. The guards are, you see some arrows and fly into them. as they try to organize. So some damage happens there. It is the stone giant's turn. Vic, are you still trying to get his attention?
Not so much. It seems like the Duergar understand the threat at this point. Now I'm just trying to really inconvenience them to the point that they would hopefully abandon their task of trying to take Durandal away.
Okay, so I think then it's going to be Dolphix, because Dolphix is actively attacked as swings around, and so 2 attack.
I didn't do any damage.
Yeah, but I mean, does both hit? Do both
They
hit?
both hit. Yes.
Oh no! Ignore that. Ignore that damage. That's the wrong damage.
Good. Glad to hear that.
13,
All right.
17.
So I'm taking 13 and 17.
Correct. We did both.
All right. So that's 30.
Yeah.
That means I am down, good sir.
All right. So you all see as he, and I think for effect, Dolphix, you sort of like the hand just makes you collide.
Actually, hold on. Sorry. I'm gonna shield one of them.
Okay.
Well, if you shield the first,
Well, I shield the
attack,
first one. Yes.
Then
I'm
shield
sorry.
stays up.
Yeah, I forget I'm an Eldritch Knight and not just a regular fighter.
So do both block?
Plus 5 to 17 is a 22.
Yep. So you're.
So they both block.
Yep. All right.
It's like that's the whole point why that's there.
All right,
Sorry, guys.
It is your turn, and Dolphix is right next.
All right. Well, then I am going to cunning action. Try once again to hide to get some advantage here.
Okay. Okay. You are hidden.
And then I will lose that as I take a shot with my bow at him with advantage.
That unfortunately does not.
Well, at least I don't lose hidden if I miss.
All right. Drazel. Anything else? Oh, sorry, Jason.
No, that's it.
Okay. Drazel.
So we've purchased Daredevil. He's our property.
We've not yet.
But I mean, we've declared ownership.
The auction
I
was
never
not
said
concluded.
sold.
Yeah, we never handed out money, but
Your own plan confounded the other leg of your own plan.
No, they were just contingencies.
You undid your own work.
well then I'm going to create a flaming spear to slam into him.
Okay. Did I give you a flaming spear? Did I give you one of these icons here?
No.
Okay. Hold on. I probably have one somewhere. Flaming spear. Oop.
Wow. 2d6 was a total of 5.
Let me see. Controlled by Drosman.
So
Okay.
I did it here because I don't want anyone else to end the turn.
Yep, you can move it wherever. Okay,
Yeah, 5
so he
feet.
has to make a dexterity saving throw. Ooh, fails. Okay, so 5 points of damage.
Yeah.
So you see, like, as some of his leathers and garments start to like singe, and he screams out in pain, and his hands are just wildly like windmilling all around. Anything else?
Then I'm just going to shout at the guys that are right in front of me, like, "No, let's get out of here," and tell them, like, pull him back.
Okay, Dolphix, it is your turn.
Okay. All right. I'll listen to Drazel. I'm gonna disengage.
Okay.
And let's see. What can I do? I think I'll just get to there. Just so we're together.
Okay. You didn't need to disengage. You are still in range.
Oh, yeah.
You
Same
can see his
thing.
10-foot reach.
Oh, then. All right, then when I'm over here, I'll hit him.
Okay.
It's not really used to fighting people this much larger. 15, I think, still misses, right?
Does miss.
Yeah. Okay. Then I'm still moving over here.
Okay. Vic.
I'm continuing to hang on to this fellow here, and just declaring to himself, "Please, you gotta save us! You gotta save us! This brave champion here can't do it all alone." And I'll give Dolphix a bardic inspiration.
Off me!
Oh, take me with you! And with my action, I'd like to cast Fairy Fire on the giant.
Yep. What's that? Dex?
Yes.
Yeesh. Oh, that's a door.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it is.
Oh.
Thank you. Yep.
Yeah.
That's better.
So he has the fairy. There's a nice fairy fire symbol on roll 20. Where is it? I can't find it. I'll just use this. Okay, so everyone has advantage on him for the foreseeable future. You notice the arrows actually do oh, sorry, hold on. He's going to try to get off of you. So I need a strength check. Vic. All right. So he manages to take his boot and just slams down on your wrist, and you're like, "Ah, my musician hand, my instrument hand," and you let go of him, and he stands back up. He's still trying to drag him away, but yeah. Sorry for characterizing your shriek.
I'd probably do that. This is how I make my money, sir. Please.
All right, so that he's not grappled anymore. The guards who are shooting actually have, because of the fairy power, actually have a little bit easier time. And so you see a bunch more of these arrows as they fly in. It is the stone giant's turn now, and so none of you did him damage, right?
I did 5.
Right, but none of you who he can reach did damage.
No.
So I'm just going to do a 1d4 in order of from left to right. So he goes after Darendal, which might not go over well. Let's see. So what's Darendal? So 13. That's terrible. So first attack, second attack. It's both. So it's 4d6 plus 12. He's still up. It could have been much worse. All right, Jason.
All right. Well, I've got advantage now, so I'm going to shoot at him. Oh my gosh. Nope.
That unfortunately misses.
Then
bonus action.
I will move back into this area here and see if I can get some cover to hide again.
Okay. Are you? Is that particularly important to you, just because he has fairy fire? Or is that just habit?
Habit.
Okay.
I still want to be hidden.
Okay. Okay.
I'm not only hiding from him.
So, Cora, one thing I forgot to mention on this: he hasn't moved, right?
He has not moved, and it was his turn. So yes, thank you for reminding me of that.
2d6 would come down on him.
Yep. Thank you for reminding me of that. Dex save, right?
Yeah.
So going to be half of whatever you roll.
2.
So 2. Just keep reminding me of that when it comes to this turn. Okay, Jason. Unfortunately, that is not one of you. See the crazy head
Yep.
And as you guys are looking at it, it's clear that one of the heads was not there. Like it's a newly formed thing. Dressel, it is your turn.
I'm just gonna slam it into him now. This time as an active thing, so it's dexterity save or damage.
Makes it.
Sheesh.
So half a 7. So 6 total after you had half a blow.
Was that a bonus action?
No, that's my action.
Okay.
I think. Let me double check.
Are you doing anything this bonus?
Yeah, that was a bonus action. I can move the sphere 30 feet to random. So I did that as my bonus. And I don't have an action to take except to try and grab hold of Darendelle and try and pull him backwards.
I will just point out that you could cast spells.
Then I will cast.
You moving the thing is not casting the spell.
Okay.
So you have that as an action.
Then I'll see if I can Toll the Dead on him.
Okay. Throw that up there. Toll the Dead wisdom. Yep. Oof. Ooh, nice. So he takes 12 points of damage. Okay. Dolphix.
Okay. I guess if we're not leaving, I'm gonna come up in front of Darendelle. Actually, hold on. You said that he's still being like grasped by 2 of the guards?
Yeah, so these two
Okay.
guards still have a grasp on him, and they're actively trying to drag him to the north, but he's just not moving. Like he's much stronger than the 2 of them.
Oh, okay. So I guess the biggest threat is this guy here. So
He
I'll-
can't. It's his arm, so he can't attack. He just he can't do anything except be dead weight.
okay, then yeah, I'll attempt to keep firing at this guy with the booming blade.
Go for it.
So, 17?
That hits.
Ah.
So you have booming blade damage now.
Yep, so I get regular damage and booming blade damage. So there's my rapier.
Okay.
13. And then booming blade is that. So
4? Or am I missing a number? Like I only see.
I think
right.
so. The first number is on a hit. Yeah, so the first number is on the hit, which I don't have yet
Okay.
because I'm not 5th level, and then the second number is if they move.
Got it. Okay, so 17 total is what I'm seeing, right?
Yeah, if they
it's
start,
13 now and 4
it's
if he
13
moves.
and then 4 if they move.
Ah, got it. I understand what you're saying on that.
Yeah, so that first box will be filled when I hit 5th level,
Okay.
and then you can add that damage to my hit.
Okay. Anything else?
No, I'm gonna be the hero here. I
Okay.
guess.
Vic.
So this guy is not leaving. I'm gonna get real close and start whispering a little melody. I'm like, he's gonna smush you. He's gonna smush you. I'm gonna cast Dissonant Whispers on this Durgar.
Durgar. Okay. Okay. Is it considered a charm? When monster stat blocks say resistance against charm, that's specifically the affliction charm, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of spells that are described as charm effects. Dissonant Whispers is not. It's just psychic damage.
Oh, okay. That answers that by default. Okay. So wisdom. That's. Oh yeah, it's the Durgar. Okay. So he's gonna take 7 points damage.
And then he moves his speed away from me using his reaction.
So you see him head basically off the map, but and now I moved him off the map so I can't even get him. So
And I'm gonna call that out to this guy, be like, "Oh my God, what are we gonna do? He's fleeing! He's running away! We need to run! We need to run!"
One thing you do see is that Darendelle basically now has control of one of his arms. It's attached to a chain, which you see him swinging like a whip. So, fine.
He's in the fight now.
So he is going to.
Can I give him a bardic inspiration?
You have a bonus action.
Yeah, I'll give him a bardic inspiration. Darendal.
What is he going to do? I think he's going to. Yeah, he's going to take. So he has to ignore its claw, but he's going to use whip. Both miss, unfortunately, but he lashes out with the whip to try to hit the giant himself. Oh, he has it still everyone has advantage. So. The stone giant, the guards you see as arrows fly from all sides into him. The stone giant's turn. Dolphix himself. Is it start of turn or end of turn, Drezel?
It's at the end of his turn.
Okay. So, Dolphix, I'm sorry. You are the sacrificial lamb here.
That was the intent, I guess.
Okay, so here's the first one. 16?
16 misses.
Okay. Second one. Oh, look at you.
Yeah.
All right. If you want to, Drezel.
All right, so then I'm going to go with the 2d of damage.
He loses.
9.
Mm-hmm. All right. Takes 9 points of damage. He's looking pretty bad. Blood is sort of just seeping out of him at this point. Jason, it's your turn.
I'm gonna try to hit him.
Okay.
See if this.
I have faith in you.
Oh, we did it! I crit him.
Yep, you sure do.
So 18 points total with sneak attack.
18 points. So your arrow just flies in like right into the fleshy part where the neck hits the new head. And you just see like he grabs up and he's gasping for air. And there's just pus and bile floating out of it. I guess not bile, just pus.
Wait, did you say new head?
Yeah, so it's obvious to you guys that one of these heads seems brand new.
Like a recent
Like
addition.
it just like because even the skin, it looks like it erupted out of the skin.
So it's like a baby head.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Jason just shot a baby in the head, is what I'm saying.
What happened?
Oh man, thing's gonna be crying all night now.
I don't think so.
Okay. I think Jason. Anything else?
No, I think that's. Well, I'll see about hiding.
Okay.
And I pull it off finally.
You do. Brazel.
All right, then I'm going to start off with the 2d6 bonus action slam of it into the thing. For 8 if he doesn't.
Wrong button. Dex.
So he's just.
Yep, 8. Okay. And so the fire is just sinking him up and down. He looks terrible.
And then I'll try to toll the dead one more time.
Okay. What's your DC? So he makes it.
Oof.
Dolphix, this is your turn.
Gonna hit it. Nah.
Flashes it, and he's like flailing so wildly, it's just hard to time where you hit. Anything else with the bonus section?
Nope.
Okay. Vic.
This Durgar is still hanging out.
Yeah, he's hanging out, but he probably, if Darendil tried to resist, that Duragar would be fine. Like, Darendil intentionally attacked the giant this time, but if he tried to free himself from the Duragar, like the size difference is just, like, you have no doubt that he'd be able to free himself right now.
Okay.
If that's what he chose to do, is all I'm saying.
The one that fled away from me has not returned.
No, partially because of logistics. Can't get him back. So yeah, he's gone.
Okay.
I mean, I guess we could try, but you could.
I'll do another dissident whispers on this other one. Just be like, you got so much to live for. You really gonna die for this slave? Get out of here! Save yourself! And
Okay. What is it? Charisma?
It is
Wisdom. Sorry.
wisdom.
All right. Oh. Okay, so he takes 8 points of damage and he has to move away from you. So he, you see him like starting like running up here, and he doesn't do a good job, but he tries to like clamber up the side of the stone building there. So he sort of crawls into the bush. It is their turn now. So let's see. This flavor is, I'm gonna say 16 and above. He is going to be the hero and try to get this thing back. Nope. So he departs, being the only one left. The guards shoot arrows into it, and now he looks like he has arrows at every, like he is a cushion at this point. So he's going to get one more set of attack. Oh, yep. Because it's end of turn for the flame thing. One more set of attacks, and he's going for you. Sorry, Delphix. So here's 1 and 2.
Yeah, shield's not gonna help either of those. So
Well,
oh, no,
just remember you've got my bardic inspiration, which you can use for AC.
oh,
You can?
You're that kind of. Bard.
I'm that kind of bard, yes.
Oh,
Nice.
Wait, I thought you gave it to Darren. Though. You gave it to.
I gave one to Dolphix earlier, though.
Yep.
can I? So I can use that as a reaction though.
You can just use it, but you know, if you needed to get up to the point where you could shield, is what I'm thinking.
Right, like I'm just wondering if it's a reaction because I have to use my reaction for shield.
I don't think you need to use a reaction to use the bardic inspiration. You just use
you
it.
can add it.
Yeah, you just add it, and it's a resource, so you just get rid of it.
Okay, then Corey, is it all right if I do that?
Absolutely.
Okay, then I'm gonna cast shield as a reaction, so that brings my AC up to 22.
Okay. And then what? Your D6 right now, or D6, Alex? Or do you? What's your bardic?
D6.
You want to roll it, Alex?
Not really,
You're the bard. You're the bard.
but I will if you want me to.
Why don't you roll it? You're the bard.
All right.
Take that ownership.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
Nice
What was I
roll.
worried about?
So it's just a crit.
Okay, so then it is going to be what? 4d6 plus 6, so 18.
Yeah, it's still up.
All right. Jason, it's your turn.
All right. Well,
Before that, so do we do the
Oh,
two?
sorry. Yeah, sorry. Actually, you're correct. Roll the damage real quick.
He doesn't seem to figure out he needs to move.
well, it hasn't done much enough to make him really need to, I guess.
Right. Like, and he's you're wise. Like he's like he's probably swatting at that thing too, right? And that's actually probably what's doing the damage. Like he's insane in some sense. Oh, there it is. Sorry, I totally missed it. You rolled that. It's Dex. Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. So Drazel, how would you best describe your flaming sphere burning him to a crisp?
Well, I think that in his effort to swat at it, he was able to kind of knock it down, but knocked himself down as well, landing on top of the spear, and it just started to burn up through the middle till it poked out the backside.
Okay. Okay. So that he sort of collapses. You see him drop to his knees and then just sort of expire. The baby head sort of giving out a cry as he, and then just silent. And sort of almost simultaneously, as you're sort of catching your breath within those seconds, you actually see another from the same area from over here. You see another stone giant sort of stumbling in. This one with only one head. And at the same time, you see 3 of the Dwargar stone guards. And you had been told about the stone guards. They are basically bodyguards of the sovereign here. And so you've seen them around. They are dressed a little differently, but basically from a different side. So inside like arrows. Here's the giants coming from here and the stone guard from the southeast. And you see the giant sort of walk up, and he looks just horrified. And he looks down and he says, what? What happened? I tried to get him before he got out. And he's looking at everyone. Are you guys saying anything?
They continue hiding.
You tried
Who says this?
to. You tried to help him get out of what? Of where?
I am Dorhund. I am the apprentice to the Stone Speaker. That was Rehud. He was another apprentice. I don't know what happened to him. He was communing with a stone, and suddenly a head sprouted out, and he went mad. He destroyed everything in his path as he came here.
So, it's okay we kill him. It's good then.
I don't know the answer to that. And as you guys are having this sort of brief conversation, the other thing you hear going on, particularly for those of you not actively engaged in the conversation, the Stone Guard are questioning the other Dwargar who are in the plaza. And you do hear, particularly those of you who speak Dwarven, you do hear the Dwargar guards are all praising your actions to the Stone Guard. That you guys were instrumental in taking this threat down. So you're not in those conversations, but you can hear them. And Dorhorn says, this is terrible. I must confer with the Stone Speaker, and yeah, I thank you. I guess. And you see him start to pick up his fellow giant.
Could we perhaps go with you? If we could get off the street here, we could maybe share more information with you and talk with you and see how we might be able to help. As I'm kind of darting around, very eager to get off the street and get Durandal somewhere else.
So he looks at you and he says, to come into Cairngorm, you'd need the Stone Speaker's permission. Now, if he wishes to speak with you, I will send for you.
Okay.
Sorry. And you see him lift up the other giant, the dead giant, on his shoulders and start to heave him forward, back from where he came.
You think maybe reward? Save city?
He doesn't say it.
Maybe we just skedaddle and get back to the inn.
But the Stone Guards do, the 3 Stone Guards, one of them comes up to you and says, we understand you were the reason that there was not more death here. For that, we thank you.
Maybe how you thank us?
He doesn't respond.
Your words are enough. The appreciation is felt. We're happy to help.
We just take our property and go.
Vic, are you still disguised?
No, I dropped that.
Okay.
Let's see. Hold on one second. Let me just see. Okay, there's that. Okay. When Drazel says property, the stone guard looks at Darren Chains and says, "This is yours."
Yes.
I do not recall seeing him with you in the inn.
Slave auction. Bought slave.
Drazel, make me a deception check.
The ever charismatic Drazel is probably the worst person we could have had to do this. I'm going to use my inspiration to see if I can help myself out.
Okay, let me just do 1 second. I'm going to contest it. Stone guard. Boop. Oh, this guy is too awesome not to show you. Sorry. Hold on. How do I show? Oh, I can't show that. 1 second.
Possibly stupid?
Oh, I know where it is. Hold on. Give me 1 second.
Possibly gullible?
That's their handouts. Wait, what?
Possibly ignorant of how a slave market works?
Cheers. Guard. Yeah. Okay. Here you go. He's way too awesome not to show you. So he what was he doing? He was doing a contested check. Wisdom. Yeah. So he nods once at you, Drazel. And he says, "Very well. Thank you again. If our bosses would like to talk to you, we will be in touch. You can rest assured that we are very grateful, and that can be a valuable thing in this town." And you see him turn around, and he starts talking to some of the stone guards, and they're looking over their shoulders at you. But because there's no other Dwergar, they've run away around who would contest your claim. Yeah.
Well, you know where to find us. We should probably go. Like now.
That's where they want to find us.
Well, they've been following us, right? That's the guy who's been following us at the inn?
He referenced
He made a
seeing us
comment
there.
that he saw you in the inn, but
Yeah,
you
okay.
don't have a recollection of him being there.
But, we should probably go.
Agreed.
And okay, are you? Where are you put it?
I will step out from my hiding place and say, perhaps we should get him to the boat
Yes.
and away.
Yeah.
The boat.
Okay.
And head toward the water.
So you're headed to basically where you know him to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've accomplished our plan one way or another. We acquired the asset and we were fleeing tonight.
Okay. So you guys, you run over and to where here. Let me make a better map. Just to give you some idea. Okay. So you guys were here, down here. So you head up to this orange dot that's up here, with Darendelle in tow, and you see maybe 100 feet away Hemeth in the distance. Is there anything specific you're doing? Sorry.
I think we should get Darendelle out of town. Hemeth said there were a number of islands. Perhaps we can find one where we can go and try to get him back to health and not be in town with him.
We should maybe ask him what happened to the others.
So as you, sorry, I failed to mention this. As you sort of take steps in any direction, he starts sobbing uncontrollably. You like sobs of relief, of like trauma, that sort of thing. Like he is just like overcome with emotion. Are you guys? Hemeth is there, and he looks at you and he says, "What do you need me to do?"
We need to get to an island where we can shelter.
Okay. I only have the one boat, so I can fit 4 of us, maybe 5 if we're, if we don't have any trouble.
Well, our large friend will need to be among the crew.
All right. So definitely 4 then. He's one of them. Me, him, or 2 of you coming with me.
It may be best if I stay here. I seem to be able to blend a little better than some of us.
I think if we take Darendelle, I should go.
I'll go with you, and Vic and Dolphix stay behind.
Okay.
Sounds
Zone. Okay.
And he's been with us the entire time.
He just showed up. He was keeping a lookout for you guys. Okay. So the group of you head off, and so what's probably gonna happen is that's probably gonna be almost a day outside of. I'll give you that choice. Are you what's your end goal? Putting him on an island and getting him settled for the night? Are you staying there for the night? Are you pushing exhaustion to come back?
I'm not going to plan to come back because I know that I was the one who said he's our property, and I'm the one that'll be easily able to find. So I'll stay with him. I can heal him as well.
Yeah, well, I'll definitely stay the night at least.
Okay. Okay. So the other 3 of you, including Zaum, head back where? Are you going back to the inn?
I think that's
I think so, right?
sensible place to go.
Agreed. Can't raise too many suspicions if you don't return.
So you head back to the inn, to Goldborn's lair, and what's her name? Oh God, it's been so long. Eldeth.
Mm-hmm.
Eldeth is waiting at the bottom of the stairs as you walk in, and she's like, where are the others? Did you get them?
We got him.
Where is he?
He's safe. That's the important thing.
Oh, great. I'm so relieved. And she, you see, Stool visibly happy. Oops.
Stool.
I don't know if you heard that.
Oh no, sorry.
Alexa just told me this may answer your question. It did not rain last night, so I don't know. She they sort of sit down and at the table and sort of invite you to sit down as well. And they call over for some food and drink and to hear the story of everything that happened. Is there anything specific you'd like to accomplish with the rest of the day?
Well, I do want to talk to them a little bit because they'll say, Eldath, so we got him. But he's known. Everyone, they're going to be looking for him likely at some point. I don't think we have a permanent solution where we have him tonight. We need to find someplace safer. Someplace where they won't come finding him.
Well, perhaps then we should work on. Do you know where the others are?
Oh, the others with the group. We didn't have a time really to. I'm assuming that
the others with Darendel.
Others meaning Jasa and Drazzle, or others meaning the rest of the
topsy-turvy.
Yeah. So I'll say, we didn't have time. We didn't have time to ask Darendel his whole story and what happened and whatnot. But I'm sure Jasa and Drazzle, they're with him. Maybe we'll get that. We'll get that update in the morning.
Okay. She says, well, I think then if we have two plans, one would be to try to find the others and see what's happened to them. And then another, we should find a way out of here. And who can take us or give us information we need to move on towards the surface. We can wander aimlessly, but currently we don't have anyone who would be able to lead us through this area, with the exception of Sareth. And I'll be honest, he barely is here. I don't know what he does.
Yeah. I'm not really sure of his mental state these days. Stool, you're trying to get back home to your people. Is there any chance we might be able to shelter Darendil there? It's
Stool seems very excited by the prospect. Like, it seems like a sleepover. Like, that's the image you have. It would be fun. So you're not sure how serious he is? Like, but it seems like he
gets positive vibes.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So,
I will take that as a yes.
Well,
And someone gave us a rough map.
They did.
It gives us an idea at least of the direction of Blingdenstone, and we understand that Stool's Grove is on the way there.
Right.
And if he gets close, he will know how to get home.
Right. The only problem is navigation in the Underdark is so problematic, as some of you are about to hear very firsthand, that if you got lost, you would be in serious trouble. So that's the only concern. You should at least have something more than what you have now. Whether that's someone you can trust to lead you towards it, or a map, or some sort of knowledge of what you're doing. So I think by now you would know that it would be foolhardy to say oh, we know it's north, right? Just because the tunnels aren't straight, they wrap around each other. Okay, so people in the inn. Anything else you guys are intentionally trying to accomplish today? Let's say, before I go back and tell a little bit of Darendil's story.
No. I think really maybe Dolphix is just keeping an extra eye out for any invisible presence. I mean, he can't see anyone, but now that he knows for sure that they're being watched, that's something he wants to keep an eye on.
So, you guys on the boat, you paddle for a good 4, maybe 5 hours, and Hemeth's goal is to find some place that is livable, but also that is far enough away that your average fisherman is not just gonna be like, "What are you guys doing here?"
Yeah, yeah.
So it's about 4 and 5 hours. You guys take turns helping them out with the rowing and whatnot, and eventually come upon like a small sort of secluded. You do find a spring, fresh water on top. There's and it's evident by the fact that there's just mushrooms growing everywhere. The mushrooms have some certain nutrients coming from the spring. And you all come down. And Hemeth has some gear in there, not great, but enough to make yourselves moderately comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And Darendil this whole time has been incredibly sullen, like just really, really like you. And now that you're close to him, you see that he is really bad off.
Yeah.
It looks like some of the bones are just pulverized in his arm, for instance. And eventually, sort of the first real sort of words that come out of his mouth, the two of you, is they're all dead. Every one of them.
All who dead? The other friends dead?
Our fellow escapees.
I don't know what happened. It's terrible. And he starts to tell you the story. And they, for the first few days, like the first week, they were just hounded by the drow. They barely slept. They were exhausted. They were running as much as they could. And so, in some sense, I don't know how guilty the two of you feel about this, but you definitely recognize that the reason you had an easy time was because they did not.
Mm-hmm.
And he just describes the first week as hell. Sleeping for maybe like 20 minutes at a time, moving whenever they could, really, really stumbling through things. They had Pupito, who seemed to know where he was going, and they had Jimjar, both of whom had some sense of where they were going. Topsy and Turvy, too, were pretty useful. And then he starts to describe, and this is where he really starts to sob, starts to describe around day 13. So after the first week, they slowed down a little bit. And after the first week, they were able to relax. They felt like they'd made enough progress, and they shifted towards being stealthy and moving through the Underdark more slowly, but trying to avoid the drow at all costs, and making sure even if they caught up to them, they weren't detected. And around day 13, after waking up for the night, they all woke up to find out that Jimjar was nowhere to be found. And they wandered around. They basically, for most of the day, looked in that area trying to find if something happened to him or any evidence of where, but there was just none. And so, having waited as long as they could, they kept moving, not really knowing ever what happened to Jimjar. And maybe 6 days later, they had rested for the night again, and Darendil woke up for his shift, but woke up late. And sure enough, Topsy and Turvy, who were holding the shift before him, they weren't there. And so he woke up Pupito, and the two of them started to search for what might have happened to Topsy and Turvy. And they were close to each other, but not exactly next to each other. And Darendil came upon what he describes in this. I mean, it takes a good hour and a half to tell the story. A little bit because he's giving a lot more details than I am currently, but also because he is shaken, and it's hard for him to overcome the emotion. So about now day 19. Darendel describes searching for Topsy and Turvy and coming across the most horrific scene he's ever seen. And in it, he found, just to make sure I'm going to keep this right, he found Turvy basically holding the dismembered body of Topsy, covered in blood and surrounded by what looked like some sort of ritual circle made out of her brother's body. When Topsy saw Darendel, she flew into a rage with still holding the arm of Topsy. Darendel was so horrified he sort of fled. I'm gonna break my chair. He fled and ran into the darkness, and not knowing what the hell was going on. It looked like, for lack of a better word, sort of an apocalypse now sort of scenario that he had walked into. And he sat in the darkness as he heard Topsy sort of hunting for him. And by the time the sound sort of died down and he felt safe, he emerged. And sorry, one other thing I'm missing. Topsy had transformed not only into basically a were-rat. So this humanoid, like half rat-like figure, and holding the body of the limbs of her brother.
So she became a were-rat and was holding her brother, who was
also a were-rat, although that you wouldn't necessarily know that. They were were-rats. That's okay. Your characters don't know that, but they were. But Darendel saw sort of a rat-like figure Topsy had turned into. By the time Darendel sort of like felt like, okay, I'm going to go find Pepito, nowhere to be found. And Darendel wandered in the dark for weeks alone with no ability to find. His injuries came from literally walking down the cliff without being able to see in front of him. He fell maybe 40 feet, really, really hurt himself. And that's when this group of Duergar coming through found him basically unconscious. He chained him up, and they dragged him. Like they basically dragged him most of the way because he was unable to walk. Which is when basically you guys found him eventually in town. He has no clue of the fate of any of them, with maybe the exception of Turvy, because he saw Turvy completely dead. But he strongly got the feeling that his belief is that Topsy killed him. That she killed Jim Jar a week earlier for sating some sort of hunger she had that he witnessed in process with her brother, and then eventually got Pepito because Pepito was nowhere to be found. And so he's absolutely horrified, and just traumatized by whatever he just went. He can fight. It's not going to be pretty. But I would also say part of the emotion is that you guys saved him. Like, he's grateful. But because he hasn't for weeks thought anything about, he's only thought of survival, not of. And so that's why he's totally emaciated, so, yeah.
Wow.
There's a little bit of a liability at the moment, but he's still there in Nelson. Turvy is probably out there. He believes Turvy's out there. He believes Turvy might be hunting him because she knew that he got away. So yeah.
It's a tragic story. Why would they pick their team? Their team's a bunch of losers.
And I think that's where we'll leave it for tonight. I have something else I could throw in, but it's pretty easy, and we are all going to level up, so we can do that. So you guys are going to turn to level 4. We can do that off camera, so I'll just close things out unless you guys have any specific questions before we go. All right. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. We closed one giant loop in our story, which I'm grateful for, because just a loose end that we can move on from. We are 20 sides to every story. If you haven't gotten a chance, please follow our channel on Twitch so you know when we're online, which is most nights, sometimes twice on the weekends, twice a day. And then also join our Discord, which is active all times a day. I'm sure there's people sitting in the, there are people sitting in the voice channel probably talking about us right now, and you can join and talk behind our backs about us as well. So otherwise, if you really liked what you saw tonight or any night, we encourage you to join our Patreon and to subscribe to the Twitch channel. Both give you access to privileges, both in the Discord server and also involving our community campaign, which is normally once a week. Currently, Alex is running The Lost City, the original Adventures Reincarnated, I guess the title of the series. And it is drop in and drop out, so you can just play one game, you can play as many as you want. But the details for the Patreon and the Twitch are in the channel. And with that, we'll say goodnight. We're back next week on Thursday with our last member who unfortunately couldn't join us tonight because of a small mishap. And tomorrow night we have one of the community campaign games. Saturday morning we have Kingmaker. And Sunday we have Paul doing Eldritch Sound.
Marvel.
That's
Marvel
That's right.
superheroes.
That's this weekend. Yeah, Paul is running some Marvel for all of us, so which is a treat.
And he is looking for players, so if anybody thinks that sounds like fun, jump in the Discord and you could get into a game this weekend.
Absolutely. Yep, it's gonna be a great time. And like I said, it's a treat because we don't normally run Marvel, and so a lot of us are going to use it to learn how to play and enjoy it. So anyway, with that, good night, everyone. It was great to play in the new year, and we will see you next week.